Hello and welcome back to another episode of Presley Mania. Today I am going to give you an update on what is going on in the court case between Brigitte Cruz, the company PPP LLC, which is Brigitte is the majority owner of, and Priscilla Presley. She has brought a case against her. And if you need a little bit of a refresher, or if you are not aware of this, you can check out some of my previous videos. I did one probably, oh goodness, I can't remember, a month, maybe longer ago, and it gives you the whole backstory about Brigitte, and it tells you about the original court case that she filed and what's going on. So if for some reason that you have questions on some of the stuff I'm going over and you need to be reminded, feel free to go and check that video out, and it will kind of help you remember what all this is about. Okay, so let's get started. The last time I spoke to you about an update on the case, I had said that Priscilla had filed with the courts, or her lawyer had filed with the courts, asking that she be able to do a video conference for the deposition on the evidentiary hearing. The judge did grant that. He did grant her to be able to do this over the telephone, and so that is scheduled for May 15th. That being said, on April 22nd, Brigitte, PPP LLC, files an amended complaint. So I don't know if this amended complaint is going to push back the evidentiary hearing. I have no idea. It's possible, or it could be something that just her lawyers will be able to respond to in writing. The lawyers did request an extension of time. Normally, they are required to answer within 10 days. They requested an extension of 20 days, giving them a total of 30 to be able to respond to these new complaints because there is so much. The judge did grant that as well. So, that being said, let's talk about some of the changes that have been made and what they're requesting. So you guys, I don't know if you remember or not, but this case is for damages in excess of $50,000, and Brigitte is requesting, or actually the company, Priscilla Presley Partners, is requesting that Priscilla pay the court costs and all of the fees and interest and whatnot that is associated with bringing this suit. Which, to me, it is just like justice served, honestly. Because when Priscilla sued Riley after Lisa passed for control of the trust, remember what she did? She wanted Riley to pay all the court costs associated with it. And Riley ended up doing that to a tune of $400,000. Yeah, so sometimes karma does come back to bite you, doesn't it? All right, let's talk about what has been added. Okay, they have added 3 additional companies to this suit that Priscilla is a part of, every single one of them. The operating agreements of 3 of the plaintiff's entities, plaintiff being Brigitte Cruz, of the plaintiff entities, namely, these are the companies, PB, PBK2, Virtual Recollections of Priscilla Presley, and then there is a Recollections of Priscilla Presley, all LLCs. They've also attached the operating agreements so you can go through and look and see. They've all been signed, they have all been dated and notarized. So there's Priscilla's signature is on every single one of them. Okay, so they are legit corporations she agreed to them. And so that is what they have done. They have added these three companies in addition to PPP because obviously they have been affected monetarily as well. Okay. And they are also, the court is exercising personal jurisdiction over Priscilla because she is a member of all four plaintiff limited liability companies, and they're all authorized to do business and which conduct business in Florida. You will remember that Priscilla made the claim that she never intended to move to Florida, even though there are documents in here where she actually leased a house in Florida. So, again, go back and check out that other video if you don't remember all of that backstory. Okay, they have a section here called factual allegations and Priscilla's business and financial history. I think it's important that I reread some of this to you. Point 9, it starts with that. Priscilla is a well-known celebrity, most known for being the former wife of the late Elvis Presley. You don't say. It is well known that Priscilla was not a beneficiary of Elvis's estate. Elvis's estate created the Promenade Trust, which named Elvis's only daughter, the late Lisa Marie Presley, as the prime beneficiary. As Priscilla was not a beneficiary of Elvis's estate, to make ends meet, Priscilla has largely relied on her celebrity to meet her ongoing financial obligations and to maintain her desired cost of living because historically she has lived outside of her means. And no, I did not make that up. That is listed in the divorce documents. By the 2020s, Priscilla's celebrity was a mere shadow of what it once was, and her earning potential was only a fraction of what it previously was. Due to various factors, including mismanagement by her former business manager, by late 2022, Priscilla was facing large liabilities, the extent of which were not fully known at that time, and little and lost income opportunities. The point 14, Brigitte steps in. She had met Priscilla, and she makes the point that she had become closer and closer with the family. And then point 15, based on her celebrity, Priscilla has not led a conventional life, relying almost exclusively on her management team to operate virtually all aspects of her personal life and business, which I have to just stop here and comment. Really? According to Brigitte, she has relied on her management team to operate and take care of things. But I honestly thought that Priscilla was this crazy businesswoman, and she was the entrepreneur and all of these things, and that it's because of her business acumen that Graceland was saved. I'm sorry, I am being very facetious here. I don't believe that for a minute. I tend to agree with the point that Brigitte made, that Priscilla did rely on them, and unfortunately she has taken some really bad advice and probably caused her to be in the state that she is in. Okay, so in August of 2022, Priscilla approached Brigitte about taking over formal management of her business and personal affairs, and Brigitte accepted and also brought in another guy named Kevin Fialco to assist her. Immediately upon taking the role, it became clear that Priscilla's financial position was far worse than expected. Priscilla was approximately 60 days from insolvency. Additionally, Priscilla was faced with previously acquired unpaid tax debts totaling nearly $700,000, with the possibility of imminent federal liens and numerous past due invoices and late payments with no promise of future income. Okay, we already knew that, but they have added this sentence, and this is key. There was also the threat of a lawsuit against Priscilla by her daughter, Lisa Marie Presley, which Cruz and Fialco worked to protect Priscilla. What? Lisa Marie was going to sue her mother. There was a threat of a potential lawsuit from Lisa Marie against her mom. I wonder what that was about. Really? Well, I think I have a pretty good idea. And in my opinion only, I think it probably has something to do with all of the money that Priscilla funneled from Lisa through her trust. Because Priscilla was in control of that trust. She was taking a salary of $900,000 a year. And she made some very bad business decisions with Barry Siegel, which ended up, remember, Lisa was almost insolvent herself? Could it be that Lisa Marie was like, took a look at those documents and went, oh my gosh, that's where my money is gone. Mom, you need to repay me for what you've done. That's just a possibility, and my opinion only. The suit goes on to say, without immediate compensation, Cruz and Fialco sprang into action to prevent Priscilla's financial ruin and public embarrassment, and they worked for Priscilla with the IRS and others to protect hundreds of thousands of dollars and future opportunities that they had funded for the benefit of Priscilla. It goes on here to talk about the fact that they lost money because they were trying to, this whole company was formed to promote Priscilla's name, image, and likeness. With the Priscilla movie that came out, they were working to, promote her through that. Lots of different things. There was a makeup line. There were all kinds of things they were trying to do. So in order to do that, they needed to form the companies. They needed to put together operating agreements. So Priscilla retained an attorney in Florida to create the formal legal structure to accomplish the goals and enable Priscilla, Cruz, and Fialco to work together as a team to organize it all, okay? The attorney's name was Lynn Walker Wright. So in January of 2023, Priscilla ended up meeting with this attorney. And from what I have read, the attorney wanted to meet with Priscilla one-on-one to make sure that she completely understood the nature of the agreement she was entering into and that she wanted to proceed with those agreements. After meeting with her, Lynn Walker Wright determined that, yes, indeed, Priscilla knew what she was doing. Okay? So, she would release the documents for their signatures and so that they could get the company started. They started the companies to monetize various aspects of Priscilla's life and allow her to generate ongoing income, and this is funny, for herself as well as for her children and grandchildren. Well, funny fact, she wouldn't be having to initiate money for her grandchildren had she not stolen from them, would she? Again, that is just my opinion. All right. So, Priscilla also appointed Cruz as a co-trustee of her trust, and she granted her general and health care powers of attorney, and Presley also made Cruz a co-trustee of her irrevocable trust. So Brigitte had a lot of power. She had enabled her to be able to do what had to be done to get these companies going so that she could get out of the financial mess that she was in, okay? While going through all of this stuff, and they start delving in and trying to figure out what they can do, they discovered that in order to promote Priscilla's name, image, and likeness, that they wanted to have all their ducks in a row. Well, they found out that Priscilla had deceived them, according to this claim, that Priscilla had deceived them by failing to disclose the fact that she had sold her name, image, and likeness, the name Presley and Graceland, to Authentic Brand Groups. And I will be referring to them as ABG. And so now these companies that they have started and they were going to be promoting and using Priscilla Presley's name, image, and likeness, was going to be limited to only being able to use the name Priscilla because she had already sold the rights off. So where did all that money go? I don't know. Okay. So what they did is they started using the name Priscilla. They formed a makeup line that went under the name Sila. It's the name of her makeup line. Okay. So all of these companies have been affected by the fact that she's, choosing to go down a different path now. And they're claiming that she has taken money from them because she's not working with them. So similarly to the business of PPP, the plaintiff entities PB, PBK2, Virtual Recollections of Priscilla Presley, and Recollections of Priscilla Presley, all LLCs, were created by their managers and members to capitalize on, exploit, license, sublicense, and or assign rights in or to Presley's name, image, and likeness, and personal recollections for the purposes of generating business, publicity, and significant earnings across a variety of and numerous platforms, spaces, and locations, not only for the plaintiffs, but also for Priscilla. Okay. Upon information, I'm going to skip over to the next part. Upon information and belief, Sila is continuing to operate and sell one or more products with proceeds not going to the plaintiffs, but rather to Priscilla individually in violation of all agreements Priscilla has entered into with plaintiffs. So they're claiming that she, is not holding up her end of the bargain based on the documents that she signed. Okay, so let me tell you, Brigitte made a post on Facebook on February 17th of 2023, and she is announcing this new makeup line. It said, Sila is finally here. Working with Priscilla Presley has been one of the most momentous achievements in my entire life. It has been an honor to work with the Sila team and be a small part of this amazing product launch. Order yours today. The limited edition will sell out in hours, and it comes with a personal autograph from Miss Priscilla. Well, at least, you get the autograph free if you buy the stuff instead of having to pay for it like you do with Navarone, right? Yep. Sorry, had to throw that in there too. Okay, so let's skip over. That proves, though, right there that Brigitte was part of this makeup launch and it had to do with these companies. That's why it was important that I read it. Okay. Let's fast forward to, actually we're going to go backward from February. But we all know what happened on January 12th, that Lisa Marie passed, and Brigitte says that she was devastated, even though their relationship was complicated. And that Priscilla's attention was directed elsewhere. So on March 24th, 2023, Cruz and Priscilla entered into an agreement to document Priscilla's ongoing duty to disclose business opportunities. And she's attached a copy of the duty to disclose as Exhibit E. And y'all, I've read Exhibit E. And so it's here, and it basically says that Priscilla is not allowed to accept anything, anything that promotes her name, image, and likeness without letting Brigitte know. Okay? And that it has to be also done in writing, and Brigitte has to approve it, sign off on it, that it's okay. Because that's what these companies were formed for. That's the whole reason they created them, was to promote her name, image, and likeness. So she's in breach of contract. Now, Brigitte also goes on to state this. And this has to do with the suit that Priscilla brought against Riley when Lisa Marie passed over the trust. It says, Priscilla, with Cruz's and Fialco's assistant, settled the trust dispute in May of 2023. Cruz's and Fialco's extreme and dedicated efforts on behalf of Priscilla resulted in the settlement in Priscilla's favor. Their efforts were so instrumental that to effectuate the settlement for all involved, including Priscilla, both Cruz and Fialco were required to sign onto it. The trust settlement worked in favor of and enhanced, get this, the future of, among others, Priscilla, her son, and her grandchildren. Say what? What? How in the world did it benefit the grandchildren? Excuse me, this suit took part of their inheritance, right? I already told you that because of the suit, she requested that Riley pay her court costs. That was $400,000. That came right off the top of their money. What else happened? Priscilla is also getting $900,000 a year for the next 10 years, or until she dies. No, understand what I'm saying. She has a full 10 years, or if she dies before that 10 years is up, then the $900,000 will stop. Are we clear? You got that? I hope you do. If you don't, you can message me and I will explain it. So that also came out of the twins and Riley's inheritance and paid her an additional $1 million. What about that benefited the grandchildren? Can someone please explain that to me? Because it doesn't make a lick of sense. Not one bit. Okay. And it bothers me, and I have to say this, that Cruz was a part of that. Shame on all of them. It truly makes me sick. Okay. Now, I want to say something too, that Brigitte was sent a cease and desist letter. We're going to talk about how all this came to be. Priscilla knew somebody named, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, Kaya Morgan, and she had got involved with this guy, and he's kind of a shady character. He has been arrested and he's been prosecuted in a profile case that involved elder abuse against Stan Lee, who was the creator of Marvel Comics. And how she gets involved with these shady people beats the heck out of me. But she does have some associations that are highly skeptical, in my opinion. So anyway, he wants to meet this guy, and I'm guessing upon, meeting Priscilla or whatever and talking about promoting her name, image, and likeness, wants to meet with Brigitte Cruz and Kevin Fialco. So he also wanted them to meet with an attorney called Michael Frock, who was supposed to be good at exploiting name, image, and likenesses for celebrities, okay? Against Cruz's better judgment, she said she was, suspicious of the guy from the beginning, but she went ahead and she met with him, with this attorney, and because he was an attorney, she gave him some confidential information. Well, after the meeting, they end up having a conference call or something, it appears from what is written here, with Priscilla Presley, the three of them, and what transpired. It says, what transpired between Frock, Morgan, and Priscilla after that phone call is unclear. However, on August 24th of 2023, Cruz was served with a notice revoking her power of attorney for Priscilla. But Priscilla had promised Cruz and Fialco that she would cut off all ties she had with Morgan. So was she playing both sides? Yes. That's what I'm wondering. Was she? Let's see who can do the most for me here. And then the next day, on August 25th, Frock sent Cruz a letter purportedly on behalf of Priscilla, alleging absurd and various misconduct, such as falsely alleging that Cruz had attempted to sell Priscilla's home, and demanding that Cruz cease and desist immediately any and all activity on behalf of Miss Presley. And the cease and desist letter is attached, and I will come back to that because this is funny as well. It was shown later that Cruz's name, along with co-trustee Barbara Iverson, her name appeared on the recording of the deed of trust documents that were drafted by Priscilla's lawyer in their capacities as co-trustees, and that Cruz at no time had attempted to sell or acquire Priscilla's home. And Priscilla's counsel later acknowledged that the accusation against Cruz was a misunderstanding and misinterpretation of the subject documents. Oopsie. They made a mistake. Brigitte was right, I guess. So in that case, they can't argue that point. They made a mistake. So now what are they going to do? But let's talk about this cease and desist letter, y'all. I've got it right here. So Michael Frock sends this letter to Brigitte, and he said, I represent Priscilla Presley. Not Priscilla, but Priscilla. Presscilla. And every time that she is referred to in this letter as Priscilla Presley, they have made a typo. Every single time. And typed it Priscilla. Pre. So, instead of putting in the I, they substituted it for an E. Why is this important? Well, let me tell you why I think it's important. Because when Priscilla sued Raleigh on the trust documents, I'm going to flip over to those because I have those as well. I'm going to read something to you. Okay, this is Part 2, Introduction and Summary of Relief Requested, item number 8. There are many issues surrounding the authenticity and validity of the purported 2016 amendment, including, but not limited to, number 1, the purported 2016 amendment was never delivered to petitioner during Lisa Marie Presley's lifetime, as required by the express terms of the trust. 2, the date of the purported trust amendment was added via PDF on March 14th. 3, and here it is. The purported 2016 amendment, allegedly signed by Lisa Marie Presley, misspells her mother's name. So, it's okay when it works in Priscilla's favor for her name to be misspelled. It's not going to be a problem. Boy, I wish Brigitte would have thought about that, because she could say, well, this letter isn't worth the paper it's printed on because they misspelled Priscilla's name. This can't be the real one, right? All right. Am I looking at this wrong? I mean, Priscilla used it. Why couldn't Brigitte? I'm just saying. And then, you remember the divorce documents that we're going over? They didn't misspell. They completely printed it wrong. In the divorce documents, they showed her name on several pages as Patricia Ann Presley. Not Priscilla Ann, but Patricia Ann Presley. But did she make any stink about that? Oh no. And why would that be? Because they benefited her. Do y'all see the pattern? There is definitely one. When it benefits Priscilla, she uses it to her advantage. If it doesn't benefit Priscilla, it doesn't matter a hill of beans. It doesn't even begin to enter into any kind of discrepancy or anything. It's just like, oh well, that's okay. I had to bring it out. It completely upsets me that it's okay for her to use things, and it's not for anybody else. It's just, to me, it's all about the money. Okay, let me see. Where are we at here? I just lost my place in the divorce documents. I wanted to talk a little bit about what some of these companies that they brought into the suit do. And it also talks about what percentage she holds in the companies. They're claiming she breached her fiduciary duty. She's in breach of contract, of the operating agreements, of all the companies. And the virtual recollections of Priscilla Presley is, there's talk in here in the attached exhibits about they were looking into doing some kind of holograms of Priscilla. Where do I go with this? Okay, I can see holograms of Elvis. In fact, they're trying to do these, and I guess it's still in the works, where in England they're going to do these hologram concerts with Elvis, and then it's supposed to be going to Las Vegas here in a year or 2 years, something like that. I don't have the exact dates. But people definitely would pay money to go see Elvis Presley, a concert by a hologram. It would be, I can see people paying for that. I would do it. I most definitely would do it. And you could do so many of those because he had so much stuff out there. But Priscilla? They're going to do what are they going to do? Are they going to reenact the marriage ceremony? Are they going to reenact, what are they going to reenact? Her Naked Gun stuff? Her Dallas show? I don't know. But do you see my point? I guess if she needs to make money, they're going to pursue every possible avenue. But in my little humble opinion, I can't imagine people paying money to go see a hologram of Priscilla. Now, people do pay money to go see the real thing. They do, but I just don't see it. I honestly feel like that Priscilla wants to be looked at as an equal to Elvis. That she is as important to history as Elvis Presley. That because she was Elvis's ex-wife and she was the mother of his child, that she should hold as high of a position in people's memory and minds as Elvis did. Wrong. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Not ever. Not ever. Had there not been an Elvis Presley, and I've said this before, and I will say it until the day I die, had there not been an Elvis Presley, there would not have been a Priscilla Presley. Had Priscilla not met Elvis in Germany, we probably, most likely, would have never heard the name Priscilla Beaulieu. Probably never. She probably would have ended up marrying, who was it? Tom Stewart, one of the guys she was dating, one of the bad boys she was dating. Ended up marrying one of them. She would have probably become a housewife. She would have been like the rest of us normal humans, just surviving every day, doing a normal job, whatever. The celebrity would not have been attached to her. She has made her money, her living off of Elvis Presley, and she has taken money from Lisa Marie and now from her grandchildren. And we're just all supposed to lay back and say, it's okay. I've had people ask me, well, how do you know how Elvis would feel about this? Well, let me just put it to you this way. How would you feel about it if somebody did what she has done to you? Would you like it? Would you think it was fair? Would you come to their defense and say something? Especially if you knew they weren't here to defend themselves any longer? Yeah, you would. I can guarantee you if somebody did that to my family, to somebody I loved, yeah, I'd come after them. And I would point out the mistakes and the fallacies and the lies. Well, I love Elvis Presley. And I love Lisa Marie Presley. So, yeah, it's my mission. I want to make sure that we know the truth. And I feel like so much of what she has put out there is just lies, and it's despicable, and it's not fair to Elvis. So that's why I do what I do. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Yes, it's gone a little longer than normal. I apologize for that, but there was a lot to cover. So remember, y'all, if you like what you see and you enjoy the content that I present, please like and subscribe to my channel. It helps move me up in algorithms so that when people search for Elvis content, they can run across my channel and listen and learn to what we're putting out there. It's important to me that all of this be factual, and I do my very best to make sure it is. Remember, y'all, you only get one shot at this life. Live each day to the fullest, because you never know what tomorrow's going to bring. Y'all have a great one, and until I see you next time, bye for now.